Hey everyone, it's Chris over at Springs Law Group, wishing you all a happy Sunday. Today I wanted to take a few minutes and just share our pre-litigation timeline with you. So if you're somebody that's been injured in an auto accident and trying to do that on your own, or if you're just kind of curious as to like, what do I do if, my kid or myself, my spouse is injured in a car crash, then how should I kind of go about each step? I wanted to share with you what we use when we hire a new client and what we show them and give to them as a resource to kind of let them know what everything will actually look like. And so if you have questions, feel free and add those in the comments. More than happy to answer those. And so let's take a look here for a minute. And then we're going to take a look right here. Okay, so what we start off with is just kind of this very simple way. And I always tell people, I was an elementary school teacher prior to becoming an attorney. So I like the visuals. I think they can help out quite a bit. So what happens here is somebody gets injured in an auto accident to no fault of their own. And sometimes it's as severe as being on crutches or having a cast or something like that. The biggest thing we want them to do after that is, before talking to an attorney or anything else, you want to go out and you want to seek medical attention. If you're so injured, that's, calling the ambulance and, going that way to the ER. Or if you're going to go and then get you could go to urgent care after that and then get a recommendation of where to go. But you want to go and get medical attention so that you can make sure that your injuries are going to be addressed by a medical care professional. And then after that, we have people they contact an attorney. They'll contact somebody like us or other injury attorneys. But even if you're not contacting an attorney, your flow should still be the same. So you get injured, you're doing it on your own, you go and get medical attention. And then what we do at this point, if they choose to hire us, is we're then going to investigate their case. By that means we're going to take a look at everything that happened around this area right here. So we want to make sure that the police report is accurate. We're going to request a copy of that report and verify that, our client wasn't given a ticket or a citation, or if there were, we want to find out, and make sure that everything in that report is accurate. We then will also want to request any medical records or bills for the current urgent care or things that that they're finished treating on. And then while we're doing all of this, and when somebody hires us, then we send out what we call letters of representation to the insurance companies. And then at that point, they're no longer going to call our clients at that point in time. So then we want to make sure after that our client continues to focus on treating and healing and just getting better. We want them to do that only because that is the most important thing. If I could put a star right here, I would say this thing right here. So if you're doing this with an attorney or doing it on your own, you want to make sure that you continue to focus on treating and healing, because that is the most important part. And you want to do that up to what we want to call MMI, to maximum medical improvement. So that point where you're feeling better, you want to make sure then the doctors will get you to a spot where what they call MMI. And so then after they do that, then when your treatment is finished, then at that point, what we do is then we're going to request all of your medical records and bills for everybody that you've seen, for all providers. If that's for a surgeon, if it's for orthopedic, if it's for your chiropractor, PT, and massage, if it's for any imaging, we want to get records and bills for all of those. So same thing if you're doing this on your own. You want to make sure then too that you can treat and heal until you're released, and then get copies of your records and bills. And this is important because you need those records and bills to ultimately be able to submit to the at-fault insurance company when making a request for compensation. And so then after that, we take those records and bills and we put them into a draft demand package. That demand package is going to be a letter, a fairly long letter at times, that's going to give a summary of your accident. It's going to give a summary of your medical treatment. And we do that in a table version. So that's something I'd recommend. You want it to be very clean and clear, laying out everybody that you've seen. So if you're doing it on your own, you want to be very organized in this. And then we send copies of the bills and the records to the insurance adjuster. We also redact or kind of black out any information that is private or sensitive or not related to the accident itself. So highly recommend doing that as well. And then we give the at-fault insurance company about 30 days It's a reasonable time to give us a response back. And then we start negotiations. Negotiation is a back and forth process between us and the at-fault insurance company, where then ultimately, if we can come up with a reasonable amount for compensation for the injuries, and by the injuries we mean both the economic and the non-economic injuries that we've had here. And then at that point, if we can come up with a good amount, a reasonable amount that's agreed upon by our client, we settle the case. One thing I want people to really understand, though, is we've had parties walk into our office here at the very, very beginning, and they've then said that, we had somebody walk in middle of last year. He was just injured. I think it was probably about 5 days afterwards, after his car accident. And he walked in with a check for $500 from the insurance company. We cannot stress this enough. Do not cash that check. Do not sign anything from the insurance company of the car that hit you. And the reason being is, at that point, he had just started treatment. So we have no idea how expensive his treatment was going to be. And if he would have signed that for $500, it would have released the insurance company from any liability at that point in time. So they're going to try tricks to get you to settle quickly. So that's why talking to an attorney or a law office is going to be very, very important. So for us too, we just say here too, that if you're injured, contact us today. Our phone number is down here at the bottom, but we just highly recommend reaching out to us, talking to us. It's not going to cost you anything just to talk to us for a minute if you've been injured in an accident. But again, if you're doing it on your own, you can still just do it on your own, but it's important to understand that timeline or that process. So just make sure too that you're taking your time and not rushing it. Just wanted to step out today and give you guys these tips, and hopefully they help you out a little bit as you're going through that. And if you've been injured in an accident, we're sorry that you're going through that, but we just want to make sure that you're informed and that you can fight the good fight. So if you have any questions, numbers there below, feel free and give us a call. We look forward to chatting with you and helping you out in any way we can. Hope everybody has a good night tonight and a great start to the weekend. We'll talk to you, or to the week. We'll talk to you all later. Bye.